Well, guys, I'm going to give you my experience in soldering microengineering yard ladder tracks. It's not fun. Basically what happens, you can see in these frogs here, there's a gap. They're all gapped. So you have to power these frogs because once your locos roll across them, they lose power. Well, you would think it would be a simple process. Microengineering and any video I found that says all you have to do is solder a wire to the back of this little brass tab right here. Whoop, my finger's in the wrong place. Ooh, where's the brass tab? Right there. So evidently, I don't know how to solder anymore, or I gotta now look up how to solder to brass tabs, because I thought I had figured out soldering pretty good until now. I am having a very, very difficult time soldering to these brass tabs. So, I've gotten 3 of them done, but it has not been a very pleasant experience. A experienced solderer probably could have gotten this done in 10 minutes, but that's not me right now. So, evidently, I don't know how to solder anymore, or there's some secret to soldering to these brass tabs on the back of these switches. Here's one I've attempted maybe 3 times. Now I got to clean all that solder out of there, and I've melted the ties, as you can see. It just will not solder. So right now I'm gonna go quit, call it hashtag walk away, and do some more research on soldering to brass tabs. Maybe there's something I don't know. Back some other time. See ya. Alright guys, so I'm back. The adventure of soldering microengineering yard ladder tabs. So I've gotten these 1, 2, 3, there's 4 of them. There's another one down there. These 4 done, and reinstall them into the layout. And I've had to disassemble the other end and start soldering those. What I had to do basically was change to a larger tip on my soldering iron and use this flux on the tab, even though I was using wire with flux already in it. So those 2 things helped out a lot, but there's still more to the adventure. If you can see, okay, here's one tab right here. Some of these switches have really clear open tabs, and some of them, like this one right here, I actually had to dig it out. It was covered in plastic. So I'm going to see if my soldering method of using this flux with the larger soldering iron tip holds true. It's been about a week since I did that first part of this video. Right after that, in the afternoon, my son came to me and said, "Dad, can you take me to the hospital?" He was not feeling very well. And I thought the first thing came to mind was COVID, like, oh no. But it turns out that wasn't it. They did all kind of blood work and CT scans and you name it on him, and COVID tests, which came back negative. Turns out he may have a case of Lyme's, of all things. So, but they're redoing the blood work to be sure about that, because his, whatever the markers in your blood for Lyme came back right on the edge. So they're redoing that again, and hopefully that's going to come back negative, but we'll see. Anyhow, back to soldering, and I'll let you guys know how it goes. Oh, I did want to show you juicers. Where's one? I bought these I bought these juicers, frog juicers, off a Yankee Dabbler. I've installed one. I probably don't have enough light under here to show it, but I've installed one right here. That's where the ladder you just saw me talk about is going to hook into. Now I haven't done all those switches, all the ME switches over here. Still has to do that one, and it's also going to hook into that juicer. But I can hook six switches into these juicers. Let's see, can that? That's too close. Let's back out some more. Into this juicer, it'll juice six frogs, and then hook it into the bus line. And I'll do a little bit more on that later as I continue this venture, because I haven't hooked those into the juicer yet, and I haven't hooked the juicer into the bus line to see how I actually did. So more later. So guys, it looks like this method worked. My revised soldering method worked. I did these 4 in about 10 minutes. Success! Got those yard ladders finally juiced up. And trains will run through them. Everything's powered. Hey, hey. Whew! Man, that was an adventure for me. Learning experience. Still got more work to do though. All the switches aren't powered up yet. That part of the ladder's powered. Those 4, these 4. Those 2 back there are also powered, but there's no power to this track where the hopper's sitting on, so I haven't run anything in there yet. The switch immediately behind the hopper and the one immediately in front of the hopper are going to have their own separate juicer. I have to order a dual juicer for those, because the ones I bought 3 6s that you can hook up 6 switches a piece, and so one juicer's taking up those 4 plus these 2, and the 4-end juicer took up those 4 plus those 2, so I ended up with 1 2 that I need to buy a dual for. The 3rd juicer I am going to use, if I slowly turn around, in the ladder that I'm going to be building over there. So that's where that one's going to be used. But wow, that took a while. Well, it took a while because other things got in the way. But I'm going to switch and go under the layout a little bit and show you a couple of these juicers, and hopefully I can explain how they work. So here's my layman explanation of a frog juicer. As I said, the ones that I'm using right now, I can hook 6 switches or juice 6 frogs. Each one of those, right now I've only got those 4 hooked in. I haven't hooked in the other 2. Go to the frogs. It's just a single line that goes to the frog that powers the frog and changes polarity. There's these 2 lines here. They just go into the bus line to power the juicer. That's pretty much it. Once you know what to do, once I figured out what to do, it's pretty simple. as you saw earlier, most of my issues was with soldering to the backside of those micro-engineering switches, which I'm going to go up and just try and get a decent picture. It's probably the third time or fourth time I may have talked about this, but oh man, it's not enough light up here. It's not showing real good, or maybe I'm just not looking in the lens right. But in the ladder, there's 4 frogs in this ladder right here. That's powered by the juicer I just showed you, and each one of these switches are gapped, and so the locos weren't getting power. So once I put power to the frogs, the loco, as you saw, ran right over it with no problem. And as I kind of mentioned already, there's going to be this switch, and this switch is going to go to the one that's I just showed you. That's going to go into that engine house right there. When I get that exactly the way I want to do it rather. So that's pretty much it. So there's other people out there that maybe have better explanation on frog juicers and their operation and what they do, and give you all the technical mumbo jumbo. Matter of fact, where I got most of my knowledge from was watching the DCC guy, which I'll throw a link in the bottom of this just so you can see where to go. He does a lot of DCC stuff, and I've been kind of watching him and learning stuff about DCC. I do have one issue with a switch that's back there. That's an old Atlas switch that I'm going to have to take out, and hopefully I can find a number 4 left-hand Walthus Shinohara switch to put in there, a power routing switch, so that I can get power through that switch. So that's pretty much it for right now. That's my experience in ME yard ladder switches and juicers. Take care.